maybe around 4 or something. I really don't know. I should know these, kind of. All right, so today, messing around with a backdrop. I record this. My office is a pool house in my house, and it drives me crazy because there's a bathroom behind this backdrop, and there's no door for it. Now it's less weird than it sounds. That you walk into the bathroom area, and then to the left there's a shower, and then to the right, a little ways down there's a actual bathroom, and there's a door to that. It just bothers me to have a open bathroom doorway in the chute. So I got this backdrop thingy, which clearly needs to be steamed. For all tech dork folks, using Ecamm Pro Live, something like that, and have the Logitech webcam thing running right now. And it seems to autofocus like kind of weird, but whatever. Who cares, right? Let's get jiggy with it. So I want to do 2 things for you today is answer a question that you see on the screen, maybe. I think you see it on the screen anyway. And then I'll show you something cool that's amazingly, I can't believe it's working. Actually, truth be told, whenever stuff works, I'm always amazed. I'm like, dude, you got to be kidding me. I can't believe this actually worked. So here's the question. It's on the screen. This came in yesterday over the Facebook from Brian Silver. He said, I'd love to hear a bit about the journey from getting kicked out of the restaurant to the point where you were starting to have success online. What were some early aha moments? Who were some early mentors? And how did you level up your thinking along the way as the goals got bigger? I think I'll really focus on the last part of the question. Like the journey to, from being he's referring to when I was a door-to-door salesman. That was my job before 1999 when I discovered the art and science of selling things online. And one day I got kicked out of a restaurant, and it was particularly embarrassing because I was of college graduation age. I never graduated from college, but I grew up in a small town called Macon, Georgia, and in the restaurant I saw a lot of people I went to high school with, and they had all gone on to become normal people, and I was kind of like a loser in high school. People were really nice to me, but I wasn't voted most likely to succeed or anything. I was probably voted most likely to overdose or something. So, it happened in front of those people, and that was really a turning point. I don't know if you've ever experienced that. Like one day you're like, okay, whatever it takes, I'm going to do it so I don't have to endure that anymore. So the early years were really my motivation was freedom from not having to do, or freedom from having to do things I didn't want to do, which was menial labor because I had no skills. So the only jobs I could get were salesperson, which I hate sales. I'm terrible at it. I don't mind doing it on video, but if I have to do it in front of somebody, like face to face, hate it. Don't like the rejection. What can I tell you? So that was either that or food service. So I've been a fry cook, dishwasher, busboy. Could never wait tables because I'm not that great with strangers. I was a desk clerk at a hotel. So it was all driven by just having enough of doing things that I didn't like doing. So it was driven by escape. And I think that's probably relatable, I would assume. I think most people, when we start, it's not like, yo, man, I'm going to start and get a plane that's powered by Lamborghinis. If they make such a thing, that would be kind of hilarious. If they did, it's more like I want to do this so I don't have to do stuff that sucks anymore. So that was the driving force. Early mentors for me, number one, most important was my grandfather. His name was Raymond Smith. He was amazing. He joined the Marine Corps, I think, when he was 17, fought in World War II. Came home, married my grandmother, the late Glennie Mayo Smith, and he started a business empire in South Georgia. Started a bunch of car dealerships and then invested in real estate. And it was him that was like, listen, you need to learn how to do business. And he did it through, mostly we communicated with me not saying anything and just listening to him, and him communicating through a series of grunts and glares. I remember he needed me to do something. I was like, I have class, so I've got to go to school. I was enrolled in college at the time. I never finished. I failed out. And I remember him going, what are they paying you? How much are they paying you to go there? And that really stuck with me. And then I remember I had a girlfriend once, and he was like, why don't y'all come over or do something? And I said, oh man, she has to work on that day, but thank you for the invitation. And I will never forget this. It was a pivotal moment for me. He said, and he looked at me like I had said something blasphemous. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell is wrong? And so he looks and he's like, son, I would be embarrassed if people knew that any woman that was with me had to work. And now the key word there is had. He was not even remotely misogynistic or chauvinistic. He was from the South, and in that culture, it's if you are in a relationship with a woman and she doesn't want to, she shouldn't have to. So the key word there is had, and I really want to make that distinction. He was a very honorable man and was very honorable towards all women. But that stuck with me. I was like, man, she does have to. I don't have the ability to take care of her. So he was my very first mentor. Through my desire to not ever have to face the very unpleasant rejection of door-to-door sales, I started studying direct response marketing. This is, I did study internet stuff from Corey Rudel, but back in 1999, our world didn't exist. So you had to learn from the direct mail guys. And so that's who I studied. I studied Dan Kennedy. I studied a guy named Bill Myers, who was brilliant. I wonder what happened to that guy. Of course, Gary Halbert, and all of those guys. And that's really who I learned a lot from, more so than any modern person, with no disrespect to any modern people. I mean, of course, Dan's, only 60-something years old. He looks like he's a million. I can say that because we're kind of friends. It's close to being friends as you could be, I suppose, if you're a client of Dan's. But anyway, I just studied all those old school guys, right? So now on to the final question, which was, how did you level up your thinking along the way as the goals got bigger? It was a belief that the goals were possible. And I don't know how to really explain this. I need to figure out a way to articulate this. But it was a belief that the goals were possible, and it was also an elevation of standards. So when I was going door to door in 1999, my dream was, man, if I could make $100,000 a year, no, it was $10,000 a month, which is more than $100,000 a year. It took me a minute to do that math back then, by the way. If I could just do that, I would be fine. And I hit it. And then I was like, oh, well, that was possible. But that was the standard. And then I raised the standard from 10 to, let's say, 20 or 30 or whatever. And I kept on raising up those standards of what is and what is not acceptable. So for me, it no longer became acceptable to only earn that much. And the day that really changed everything in terms of up-leveling my thinking was when I sold a serializer seminar. Serializer was a software and a methodology that I invented. I can't remember, 2005, I think. And I charged $10,000 per person for the seminar. And I'd never sold anything that expensive in my life. And I just sort of got the idea to try it and see. And the dang thing worked. It sold. Like the first round, I said I would only ever teach it to 100 people. The first seminar, I said I'm limiting this to like 36 people or something. So I just want to make sure I do a good job. I'd never done a seminar before. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. And the damn thing sold out in like 9 minutes for $10,000 per person. And that was a big one, seeing that it was possible. I was like, oh my gosh, like this, wait a minute. You can do that? Like, I didn't really think it would work. I thought maybe I get 5 people after promoting it for a month or something. And that was a huge one, just to see that it could be done. And after that experience, and I have to backtrack for just a minute, and I apologize. I got the idea to sell that thing from a guy named Kurt Christensen, who had recently done a seminar about AdWords or something, and he had charged a lot of money, maybe the same amount. So I was like, if he could do it, I'll try it. I don't know. And as a result of that, I got this belief ingrained in me, which I keep very, very close to my heart all the time, which is if one can, so can many, and so can I. And that has really, really helped me because I believe that to be true for most things. If one individual can do something, then many individuals can do that thing. And I also can do that thing. And it's a belief that I deliberately focus on with a great deal of regularity. And obviously there's, exceptions to that. Like I don't see myself breaking the 4-minute mile, or playing guitar like Jimi Hendrix or anything. But that's been really, really helpful. So I'd say that's probably the biggest one. So thank you for submitting that question. And hopefully Brian and anyone else who had those types of questions found that to be helpful. All right, let's see. Let me show you something cool that's working, and then we'll do some holiday stuff, or I will anyway. Okay, let's make sure I got this thing set up right here. Ooh, hot diggity. Okay, so now, oh, you know what? This is like Inception. Hang on. There we go. Okay, I want to show you something. So check this out. You know how? Let me switch back to me here for a minute. All right, you know how I'm constantly harping on this idea that, if we create content, then and we make it today, it can continue to serve us for a long time. And this is why I really urge people to do lives on social media, not so much for the immediate what's happening in the live environment right now, but for the fact that it's there and people can watch it later, right? And so been, flogging a dead horse about that pretty aggressively for quite some time. I want to point out something to you today, that it's not just video content. All right. So I have a strategy that I like to use. It's called intent-based branding. And essentially you put out good content and then you retarget the people who consume that content with a lot of conversion ads like, hey, here's some stuff you might want to buy, and also some more good content. There's more to it than that, but that's it in a nutshell. Hopefully this autofocus thing is working. I think it is. Okay, great. All right, so check this out. All right, let's go to the monitor here. Did that work? Yeah, man, it amazes me. Technology, I'll tell you what. Okay, look at this. So this is like a little ad campaign I have. And what this is doing right here, here's the campaign name, all right? This is driving these people, strangers. Is that working? There, okay. This thing's getting weird on me. There we go. Okay, it's driving these targeted people, all right? People who, for whatever reason, are interested in me. All right, so let me show you this ad set right here. Okay, and then I'll show you the ad. Dadgummit, get out of there. All right, come on. So these are people with the interest of Frank Kern. God help them. Okay, I'm spending a whopping $28 a day on this. And they're people who have not watched my videos and stuff yet. And they're living in basically America and Western Europe. All right, and they're between 31 and 60. And I'm like, all right, cool. So that's group number one. Group number two, I just started running traffic to these guys. These are folks who are interested in funnels and stuff. So they're interested in conversion funnel, or purchase funnel. All right, and they're in America. I don't know why I didn't include the other countries. Sorry, other countries, not trying to be a jerk there. And they're between 30 and 60 years old. All right, and so they're not huge audiences or whatever. And so for these dudes, ooh, I'm going hog wild crazy. I'm spending $58 a day, all right? And so this campaign, all right, this campaign is, are we back to me? All right, cool. Ha! This is a traffic campaign, meaning the whole purpose of it is just to drive visitors. I'm not saying, hey, Facebook, go get me buyers. It's just give me clicks. That's all I want to do. Because I know if they'll go to the article, maybe they'll read it, and then I can retarget them. So I'm just trying to get some goodwill in there in a medium outside of videos, because not everybody watches videos. Like, who in their right mind would be watching this crap from me? I don't know, right? So maybe some people will read my crap. All right, so that's the campaign in a nutshell. Here's the ad, all right? Nothing cool about it. Both of the ad groups have the same ad. It's just random pictures of me. Okay, so this is a dynamic ad. So like as you can see, some of them are using that picture. Some of them are using that one. Some of them are using Natalia. Just like, I don't know, dude. I'm like, random pictures. And then there's some copy like, hey, this is my favorite one because it's just so stupid. It's like, hey, here's an article that will show you how to sell stuff. And so that's it. Like, go read the article, okay? And it's sending people to this page. Now, this is an article that I wrote, I think, in 2015, maybe sooner, like somewhere around 2015, I wrote this article. If you go to my homepage, frankkern.com, you'll see it in another form, all right? And so here it is. There's nothing, there's no opt-in page, there's no banners, just down here at the bottom, and I just kind of threw this in here. Someone can click here and they'll go to a web page that sells something. Now look at this, all right? The purpose of this ad campaign has just been to get visitors to that page so I can retarget them. That's it, right? Like, obviously, I hope they buy stuff, but that's really not the purpose of it. I want to sell them stuff later. I just want to build up what I call the invisible list. It's a huge component of intent-based branding. Works pretty good. All right, so this month, from December 1st until today, and again, I have no idea what time it is. Sorry. I've spent a whopping $738 on this thing. And really my mission here was to build up this retargeting list. But look what's happened. Dude, they bought stuff. They actually went to the damn page and read the whole thing and clicked here. And I don't know if this site will work or not. Let's see. Hopefully it will. There we go. They come down here and they're buying this thing, right? And so that, to me, is absolutely freaking amazing, and it's something that it's inexcusable not to start testing. Because, dude, like, I understand being camera shy, and like, what if I look dumb? If you just are born dumb looking, you don't have to worry about the what if, But some of y'all don't look dumb all the time, and I do. I consider that to be a competitive advantage, And so you're like, what if I look dumb, or maybe I shouldn't do the video or whatever? Oh man, this whole time I meant to be showing you the damn screen. Good Lord. My gosh, I don't know when I switched on and off, but anyway, whatever. This campaign's working, and it's sending people to this page. Okay, so it's just an article. Hopefully, I've been sending it to y'all. Saw that already. All right, so back to me. Where'd we go? Where's old Frankie? Side webcam. There we are. All right, need to focus, Kern. It's Christmas Eve. What can I tell you? So anyway, man, try this. It works. And you're still building a retargeting audience. And it's cheap. I'm getting cheap clicks. They're not like penny clicks or whatever, but I'm more interested in quality over quantity. So I'm cool with it. And it was free. I'm building this retargeting list, and it's actually turned a profit. What do you know? And guess who's going to make more of these? El Gordo over here. I'm going to make more of these things because it's working. And it's spreading goodwill. Remember the formula, okay? Goodwill plus offers times frequency equals money. This is a classic example. This article, this provides goodwill. Okay, usually most people think in terms of my intent-based branding stuff, it's got to be video-based. It doesn't. It can be an article. This is genuine goodwill. It's very educational, helpful article. At the end of it here, there's an offer, right? So the trick is to do this and do it with frequency. Okay, let's see. You guys, I hope everybody has a great Christmas. If you don't celebrate Christmas, I hope you have a great Christmas anyway. I don't mean that out of disrespect, but I'm not going to not wish you well. I've never heard anyone actually being offended by someone wishing them well, by the way, so I don't think anyone will take offense at that. How dare you wish me well, sir? Well, I do. The gauntlet has been thrown, and I wish you well. Take that. Right. Anyway, off I go. I'm going to watch the children. And Natalia's going to the store. I think I'm going to have me a little champagne while I'm watching them children. How about that? Okay. Y'all have a good time tomorrow. I don't know about this backdrop, man. Kind of cheesy. We'll see. Okay. How do I turn it off? There we go. Okay. Over now.